as you start to move into the next phase, which we call it burnout. I don't love calling something a negative thing to begin with, but I feel like it's such a necessary thing.
Burnout is not the end of the world, and everyone goes through it, and you can't avoid it. That's the soapbox I will die on. Like, burnout isn't negative until you ignore it all the time. But you're
right. It is the unhealthiness of like ignoring how you're feeling
but
and not
innately it is not
addressing
bad.
it. But like the natural act of getting there is a sign that you're willing to work hard. It's a sign that you're trying a lot of different things and you're experimenting a lot of different ways, and you're going to hit some kind of wall. And that's when you have to address, okay, what are your real boundaries? What are you willing to do? Where do you want to shift? And we find that this is a season of shifting from saying yes to everything to being more intentional. This is a getting frustrated with your boundaries and making clearer boundaries. This is an opportunity. And I think, would I like to catch people earlier in this phase so we can make healthier decisions sooner? Absolutely. But I think more often than not, you have to get here to realize that the way you're doing it isn't going to work
because
forever.
the blissfulness of the bootstrap phase is that profit margins are really high. Because it's just you and you're crushing it. You're saying yes to everyone and you're like churning out clients. Clients are coming in. And as you're phasing closer and closer to burnout is when, because your prices haven't raised, right? And you're still saying yes to everyone. So you're way overbooked. You're literally saying yes to everyone. So you have clients pouring out your eyeballs. And your brain is like, oh my God, I can't sustain this. So I need help, right? So if you hire at this stage, profit margins are going to start to dip. But then you're in that realization that the cycle of doom that we talk about of you need to hire more help in order to get more clients, but you don't have any money to hire more help because you're not charging enough. So you need new client. Like you don't know what to change, right? And so the segue from bootstrap to burnout can happen like literally overnight, super quickly after you've been in bootstrap for a while. And then it's like, how did I get here? And how do I get out? And how do I go back to the blissful easiness of like making 90% margins?
Well, and going back is not the solution. Going forward is the solution, but the only way to go forward is to address what's not working. And to figure out what's not working, we really have to put a magnifying glass to your pricing, your packages, your processes.
Well, because what happens is, in the bootstrap phase, you might think of it, you might say things like, I'm a small business owner, or I'm starting my small business, or I have this little side thing. Sure. Like you use phrases like that, right? In the burnout phase, you might fully be like, no, this is my business. Maybe you've left your full-time job by now and you are relying on this income. It is coming in. It is my business. But what also happens as it is your business, and that the idea that this hobby or side thing is now turning into something, you're now more in tune to everything else that a business needs in order to grow, like marketing, lead acquisition, brand awareness and quality, your client delivery, communications, like growing the whole thing, managing the whole thing. When in bootstrap, it was just like responding to a client, doing the work and getting paid. Like it was it's a small process. You didn't really care about like telling more people about your business or brand. You maybe didn't even have a website yet. And at burnout, you probably have a lot more assets, like of a business, and it feels heavier.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's this myth, and I don't like to blame Christianity because I am a Christian, but you've been told, likely whether you're a Christian or not, you've been told your whole life that the universe or God won't give you more than you can handle. And that's just not true. Like, you will be given at various stages more than you can actually handle. It's how you react in those situations that matter. It's not the fact that it's happening. It's that you have to deal with it. And so you're likely going to have all sorts of circumstances that aid in this. Your burnout may have everything to do with business or nothing to do with business. It could be a life circumstance or work that like puts you in this phase. I'm not suggesting that everyone has a mental issue necessarily, but a lot of entrepreneurs, being creative, you're more susceptible to anxiety and depression anyway, and so you're more susceptible to work really hard and like get to the point where you are struggling in a mental headspace. And so I really want you to start to phase out of this, and doing that, a lot of this is a personal growth opportunity. It starts with personal growth and then it turns into like logistics, but I think you have to do the mind work first, even if you're the kind of person that like thrives on action. Like if you don't do the mind work first on this, I think you'll sometimes do things that you don't feel totally in alignment with, and then it makes it worse instead of better.
Because
but
what we see is our clients and audience are in this phase and are convinced there's no way out of it without continuing to burn themselves out unless they make drastic changes into what they offer, how they offer it, or who they offer it to. For some For some
they think they
reason,
have to
everyone
change
ignores the fact
every
that we can
aspect
like
of it.
restructure the business and the processes and the back end to better support you and your clients without changing the offer. Like I don't know why we only look at like the makeup of the business instead of the insides. You know what I mean?
I mean, I say this because I need to hear it too half the time. And so like it is easy to think that the method is the problem, the delivery, the mechanism, okay? Even you doing services, but that's not the real issue here. The issue is typically surrounding how you are showing up, and not necessarily how you're being treated.